Hello! Today I'm going to be setting up my reading journal for October, which is always a fun month because, spooky season. I actually really enjoy Halloween, which is why I actually like October, even though it is in the fall, which if you have seen some of my previous videos, you know is my least favorite season. Anyways, enough about that, and let's move on to the actual setup. I'm actually going for a somewhat unusual color scheme for myself. I'm going to go for a sort of purple and orange and more neutral color scheme as well, and I honestly don't know how I feel about the combination of all of these colors. But I'm kind of happy that I tried it, and it's definitely something a little bit more fun, and who knows, maybe you will actually like it a lot more than I do. Anyways, moving on to the actual setup, I'm going to be using this purple set of stickers that you see me, already starting to use, and they have a very sort of magical, slightly Halloweenish theme, and that's why I decided to go with them. So I'm just starting off with this witchy sticker, and I'm putting that at the bottom right corner of my first spread. And I'm also using some Halloween-themed scrapbook paper that I actually got last year, but I never got around to using it then, so I decided that now would be the perfect time, especially since it has this purple crystal ball that really fits with my purple stickers. So here I am just gluing that down right there. After that, I'm going in with my trusty stencil to write in the name of the month. And I probably mention this every month, but I do this because I want this particular portion to look as good as it possibly can, and if I do it by hand, it probably won't be as good, so I use a stencil for this part. And after I'm done with that, I'm just going to fill that in with the same copper marker that I was using to kind of outline it to begin with. And I wrote it a little bit over the scrapbooking paper, and I actually really like how that came out. I also really like that I kind of made the letters, how do I explain this? They're not linear like I usually make them, and I actually really like how this came out in this particular spread. Now comes a part that I'm not sure about, and that is this purple washi tape. I've actually had it for ages, and I kept meaning to use it for more spreads, and I dug it up and I thought that it would be perfect for this Halloween setup. And I actually don't think it is. I think I would have been better off with something else, but I think it's okay. It does fit the color scheme, just maybe not the theme that well. And underneath that, I decided to go with some very Halloween-themed washi tape with jack-o'-lanterns. And again, this is another one that, while it does fit the theme, I'm not sure it really fit the color scheme. So I'm not super pleased with the washi tape I chose for this theme, but other than that, I actually really do like it. And the rest of the spread I'm just filling in with a couple more magical stickers, and I'm also adding a little quote. And the quote says, "There is magic in the night." And I really like that quote, and I think it's sort of fitting for both Halloween and for the particular theme I went with, which is very magical, and that was pretty much it for that side of my spread. The next side, I'm actually starting off with another piece from that same scrapbooking paper set, and I'm going to be using that as a background for my TBR. And I really like that one. I really like the sort of skeletal hands, and that's pretty much all I have to say about it. And the bottom of the spread I decorated with some more of that purple and jack-o'-lantern washi tape. And at the top, because there was definitely a bunch of empty space there, I added some vintage washi tape and a few more of those stickers just to fill in that area. And a tiny bit of copper washi tape right underneath the heading, just because I felt like that area was missing something and I wanted to add a little bit more sparkle. And that is it for both of my first spreads, so we are moving on. And I'm using some more of that scrapbooking paper, and I actually cut that piece into 2 separate pieces to use for the titles in this spread, because I felt that the whole thing was just too big for the titles that I was going to need here. So on the left side, I'm layering that over some more of that vintage washi tape, and I'm pretty much doing the same thing on the right. And other than that, I went with a little bit more of that jack-o'-lantern tape just to fill in some of that empty space that you see in the middle, and a few more of those purple magical stickers. As well as more of that purple themed washi tape that I'm not so sure about. And then it was just time to fill in the titles, and the titles are first lines and books read. So the first lines of the books I read that month, and well, the books that I do end up reading that month. And just one final touch was a little bit of that coppery washi tape just to add in a little bit of extra sparkle, and just another sticker from that purple set, just because I felt like there was something missing on the left hand side of the spread. Moving on to the next spread, and I'm using some more scrapbooking paper here again. And you can see that I'm putting this piece of scrapbooking paper at the bottom, and that's just because I wanted to separate that section from the rest of the spread, because that is my monthly stats section. I often use washi tape to separate it, and I did use that a little bit here just because there was a bit of empty space to the right side of my monthly stats title area, but I didn't use much because I felt like the scrapbooking paper was decoration enough and definitely did a good job of separating that area from the rest of the spread, which by the way is my reading review spread. So here I just write down a kind of overview of my reading for that month. So what kind of genres I've been reading, how I've been feeling about it, what kind of reading month I was having in general. And the right side of my spread is my favorite book of the month. And I actually added that little piece that I cut off from my scrapbooking paper piece that I used for the monthly stats section to the right side, and I really like how it came out. I didn't really want to waste it, so I decided to add it there, and I think that it fits very nicely and kind of ties the whole color scheme together. And under that, I added some more jack-o'-lantern washi tape, and I added another purple sticker there just to fill in some of the empty space. And my final touch for the spread was just a little bit more of that copper-themed washi tape right under my reading review title, just because that spread felt a little bit more boring, and another piece of that purple washi tape right underneath that, again just to make that area a little bit more fun. And I know I said that that was my final touch, but I also added a little piece of that vintage washi tape on the right side just because that area was starting to look a little boring now. Moving on to my next spread, which is my favorite quotes of the month spread. And here I'm using scrapbooking paper from that same set. And I'm using this sort of creepy-ish penned and mushroom piece, and I really like that one. And I thought that the vintage washi tape would pair perfectly with that, so I'm adding just a few pieces here and there around the spread. And I'm also adding some more of the jack-o'-lantern washi tape and some more of that purple washi tape just to keep the purple theme going. Of course, I had to add some more purple magical stickers because, well, they work so well with the theme, and they also helped me to fill in some of those empty spaces. Next up, this shouldn't come as a surprise to you, but I'm using some more scrapbooking paper. And this time I again sort of separated the scrapbooking paper piece into two, but instead of cutting it, I actually ripped it, just because I wanted that vintage feel. And I'm layering the piece on the left with some more of that vintage brown washi tape, and I'm layering the piece on the right with that washi tape as well, but this time I'm putting the washi tape on top just to kind of change it up a little bit. And the left-hand side of the spread is my good things side, and the right-hand side is actually my bad things spread. So here I'm just going to be writing down some of the good things from the books that I read this month, and on the right it's gonna be some of the bad things. So, you know, less nice, but still important, I think. And as usual, I had some empty spaces to fill, and I filled those in with some more of those purple stickers and some more of the purple and jack-o'-lantern washi tape. With my final touch for the spread being just a little bit more of that skinny coppery washi tape, just to add a little bit of sparkle. And we are down to the final spread of the setup, and this is going to be my character spread, and I'm using some more scrapbooking paper here again. I'd actually used fairly large pieces for this spread. I don't know why, I just kind of felt like it. And on the right side, I'm layering that with some more vintage washi tape. And on the left, I'm actually using that scrapbooking paper piece to write the title. Although the title does kind of come off the piece, but I wanted that to happen for once. It's not a mistake. I just felt like it gave it more of a vintage feel and made the spread a little bit more fun. And just to make that title stand out a little bit more, I underlined that with some more of that coppery shiny washi tape. And then it was time for the stickers, and I'm actually adding one under the title because that area felt a little bit empty to me. And I'm also adding a little bit of purple washi tape right next to that because, again, that area just felt empty. And that is actually it. We are up to the final flip-through portion of this video. I really hope that you enjoyed this setup and that you liked this theme, even though, as I mentioned, this is definitely not my favorite, but I do still like parts of it. I just kind of regret some of my choices. Anyways, please let me know how you felt about this theme and what your theme for October is, if you are using a journal of any kind, that is. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Be you, always. Bye!